Well, we've just started the second round and we're just trying to catch our breath. I don't think we can realise what we've just seen on this very stage, Rod. It is still hot up here.
It's very hot,
probably on fire.
Yeah.
To be fair, Glenn Durrant has just knocked out Michael Van Gerwen in one of the all-time classics here at Winter
Magnificent game of darts, really was absolutely fantastic. Virtually going to the last possible leg as good as, and by the end, both players playing pretty close to the top of the game, going one way then the other and seesawing back and forth. And, full credit to Glenn Durrant to hang on in there and stagger over the finishing line and get the job done and beat the best player in the world. So it was very emotional, wasn't he? Very emotional. Very emotional. Yeah, he always is, but I think he was... and look, he's got every right to be, because that's a great win, and to be on this stage, one of the biggest and best stages in darts, and they're all singing your name. It doesn't come much better than that, does it, for a sportsman?
So it was also a clash of the world champions. It did not disappoint. And you mentioned MVG not been at his best, but Glenn Durrant dragged something like the old MVG out.
Yeah, but I mean, Michael, as you said, and listen, let's have some credit to Michael, not just for the way he played at the back end of that match, but he's always very dignified. You won't see him hiding away, refusing to do an interview. He'll come out, and he's always very respectful, and will always say congratulations to his opponent. He did it again. He's the player of the utmost class, Michael. But yeah, by the end, Michael was playing something near his best. Not perhaps quite at the real top level that he's capable of, but it was getting close to it. And Glenn was having to really keep his composure, and by his own admission, it was getting harder and harder towards the back end to keep himself under control. So, is he favourite yet?
He's not. Rob Cross and Glenn Durrant is Peter Wright. It's wide open. Basically, that result has blown the mark winner. We said earlier that 20-1 last, he'd be single figures. He's going to be around about a 5-1 shot.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, and well, Gary Anderson's gone out in the half of the draw, Matt, as well, hasn't he? So it really does open up. He's got to play Wade next, and then Michael Smith probably, but maybe even Mervyn. So yeah, that was quite favourable for Glenn Durrant now, doesn't it? All of a sudden, from being really difficult. So yeah, and then tomorrow night, who knows? Maybe Rob Cross and Peter Wright will go out as well, Matt. I mean, who would know? Who would know? Yeah.
I mean, you just spoke to Michael Van Gerwen for Sky. What did he have to say? Obviously disappointed.
Yeah, look, he's always bitterly disappointed when he loses, as he should be. I mean, he's a champion player, and they don't lose very often, and they don't like it when they do. And why should they like it? But he was full of credit and praise for Glenn. And he's obviously disappointed because this is a very big tournament, but he'll go away, he said, and come back strong for the second half of the year. But this will hurt Michael. He doesn't like losing anyway, but this will hurt him because this is second only to the Worlds, and he's I'm going to use the word only. It's not really only. He's only won it twice. And he'll be really upset. And but as I said, he's always got the class to come out as a champion and say, "Look, I didn't play well enough. Well done to Glenn." And I think Michael should take credit for that.
You kind of feel sorry for Glenn Durrant after beating Adrian Lewis, world champion Michael Van Gerwen. He's now Blackpool specialist James Wade waiting.
Yeah, and I mean, how does Wade do it? Again, watching the game, you're just thinking, well, Mensch's got him on toast here. 3 legs up, 8-5, and then again throwing for the match later on, Mensch, and then just threw in a really shocking leg on his own throw, and again James Wade escaped. I don't know how he keeps doing it, but it can't just be luck, can it? Because he keeps doing it. If you keep doing the same thing, it can't always be luck. So, and as I said, Glenn will fancy it now in that top half, but so will James Wade, obviously. So will Michaal Smith suddenly, who's got a poor record here, hasn't been playing well. And so will Merv. Who would write off Merv? Brilliant win from Mervyn King over Gary Anderson.
Yeah, incredible setup. Beautiful. That top half, the quarter-finals will line up with Glenn Durrant taking on James Wade, as Rod said, and Merv King taking on Michaal Smith. And I tell you, tomorrow night is half as good of what we've witnessed here this evening. Then we're in for another Wednesday thriller.